All right, so we are here today. We are going to be showing you some fix and flip opportunities and really what to look for when you're looking at investment properties or properties that just need work. I'm here with my partner Sevon. We both work with Remax Dream Properties in Pasadena, and Sevon actually has been a licensed general contractor as well for over 25 years. So we're going to give you guys some really great insight on a week-to-week basis on how to look at fixer opportunities and how much it's going to cost out of pocket. All right, so let's walk through. So what do you see? Like, we're looking up at the ceiling
so
here.
Looking up here, you see some water spots up here. Definitely there's some leaking going on from the roof. The vents here are pretty dirty around the perimeter, which it tells you that there's a lot of loose ducts up there, and they're really not. It's not a really tight system.
So something like that, what will that run you?
Well, you've got to look at it as a whole. This is probably not the only place it's leaking.
Right.
I would imagine that there's more, and in that case, the roof would need to be replaced.
Okay.
If it's just one spot, then it's a simple, quick fix. But given the appearance of this room, I would say that there's more issues as we go.
And typically, what are you thinking with roofs? Like, what's that gonna run you?
It depends if you're redoing putting on plywood, new shingles, etc. You could be looking at 30 grand or so, which in this case again is probably necessary, given that there's nothing much to work with to start. So it wouldn't just be adding a layer on top.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's walk on through. Let's check out the kitchen. Look at these floors. Woo!
Yeah, they're fantastic. Let's see. So it looks like here they've made sort of an addition back there, which is like the laundry and whatnot. This being the main part of the kitchen. Again, everything would have to be taken down, insulating the outside walls, redoing electrical, plumbing, and that sort of thing. And in that process, you can change the configuration a little bit to make it more open or, to your liking.
And a kitchen like this, what would this typically run you?
It depends on the grade of quality you're going to use, but, you're looking at probably 25 to, 40 grand, depending on how you want to get it done and what kind of materials you're going to use.
Okay. Check out the floors, you guys.
Okay. Yeah, this whole area looks like an addition. It's got the slightly updated windows, and then that leads out to the back. This is kind of a difficult space to use, so it's possible to maybe reconfigure the inner walls because it's kind of like a long. It's
just long and narrow. Yeah,
exactly. So, that's something that you can do as you rework the whole project. Not bad. All labeled. So this is the sub panel here. It's got all the items labeled. The main panel would be outside. A couple spares there. It doesn't really tell you much. It doesn't tell you the amperage. So it doesn't tell us much. It's an older system. It's labeled, but it doesn't give us the amperage on each individual circuit. That obviously would have to be updated to today's standards. So this is the attic space. So that would be one of the places you'd want to go to inspect the roof and look at other miscellaneous, issues that may be up there. It looks like a full standing attic, so you have access to do that. That's the return air for the HVAC system. In this case, you'd be putting in a new AC, I'm sure, and a new heating system.
And typically, if you're replacing heating and AC, what's that running?
So that all depends on the size of the place. Generally speaking, I would say for like a 5-ton unit for a house of this size, maybe a 4 or 5-ton unit. The materials and labor, you're probably looking at like a 16 to 25,000, something like that. Mm-hmm. Again, depending on what you select and the quality.
Yeah.
the back side of that
Oh yeah, this is
kitchen
the
wall
back
area,
side of the
which
kitchen wall.
you could, you know, frankly, I would expand the bathroom maybe, or, you know, change the configuration with this wall. Maybe even make it another bedroom back there. That would actually be a good use. You could bring that wall over here. You know, this bedroom would be one separate unit, and then you'd have another complete separate room over here. So you can easily add that other bedroom.
Right, because it's definitely large enough, and then they have a door outside.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Over to the bathroom.
Yeah, let's check out this bathroom.
Fire extinguisher is ready to go.
All right, let's take a look.
So this again is a full gutter. This would be coming out completely, which is a good opportunity to reconfigure it, maybe make it larger, something more usable. You can also change the access point where you get in, maybe the configuration of the closet, that sort of thing. So here's I guess the guest bath, which is shared with the bedrooms here. Not a bad size, but obviously needs to be redone. Electrical, plumbing, the whole thing. Tub, shower, paint, obviously. The plaster's coming apart. You know, again, this would probably be like a $10,000 to $15,000 project, depending on your material selection and quality, of course. Nothing to save.
Yeah, nothing to save. And so when you're talking about new plumbing, what would that run you, like for the whole house?
Yeah, so for the whole house, you're probably looking around 30 grand or so. That's new piping, possibly all the way to the street for the sewer. You know, you wouldn't want to keep anything, you know, that way you don't have any issues down the road. And, you know, you want to start from the street and go all the way to everything you need to get to. So supply lines, drain lines, all that stuff. So in this room, we've got some nice hardwood floor. Surprisingly, refinishing these floors comes out really nice. And it looks like there doesn't look like any water stains or spots, so that will come out surprisingly well. I'm not sure the condition of the rest of the house because there's carpet mostly, but if we lift it up and see that it's just dirty or old, then all that stuff will come out nicely. You know, it's worth saving. I think it's a good part of the house, a nice character. So that's nothing worth saving. It's like a fake laminate. You can see the old garage ceiling is kind of coved here, so that would all have to be redone. And this would, you know, you could convert it back into a garage, or you could just leave it as a room, you know, count it as a room.
All right, so we noticed this crack here in the ceiling, and so typically what would you advise a buyer about, you know, cracks in the ceiling?
Sure. So if this was just in one spot and the rest of the house was fine, we could easily repair this area and it would take care of the issue. But given that there's all kinds of issues with the walls and plaster, it doesn't make sense to just fix one spot. You know, you would do the whole thing at the same time. So we have an air conditioning system that's on the roof, which is kind of typical in Southern California. Definitely not the preferred way to do it, especially when you have a crawl space here. So you have access under the house, which means that's the ideal place to run all your ducts. So you're not competing with the hot air in the attic. It's much cooler down there, so your system doesn't have to work as hard to cool the house. So in this situation, if you're gonna redo the system, you know, you'd get a condenser unit out here, and then you run all your ducts under the house and pop them up through the floors. Also, if you look at the eaves around the house, they're very, very short and close to the house, to the walls. So that really doesn't serve a purpose for you. I mean, you really want to have those eaves extend out, not only to protect from the rain when it does show up, but also it provides a little extra shade for the house as well. So everywhere you look, it's really tight to the house. It should be extended, and that's something you can do when you redo the roof. It's a perfect time to do it.